A very good evening to you, and thank you so much for joining us on this edition of Spectrum. We are coming to you live on Radio 1 FM 90, broadcasting from the Central Building here in the home of our city, Kampala, live on our website, which is www.radio1fm90.com. You click on the icon with the word Listen Live. Now, you can still find this radio station at different radio listening apps, which you can obtain from the App Store of your smartphone. You look for any download. Look for Radio 1 FM 90, and as long as you have an internet connection, you'll be able to listen to us from anywhere across this globe. Today we'll be looking at the effectiveness of the presidential initiatives. Now, we know President Yoweri Museveni's office has launched several initiatives, all geared towards job creation, poverty eradication, and generally economic social transformation, as he normally puts it. Now, people have had a number of questions about some of these initiatives, wondering whether they are even delivering as expected. In some cases, we have had complaints that certain groups that are supposed to be benefiting are not the ones actually in the system. They register certain people, and then the money and the support goes completely to other issues. So today we want to discuss this issue a little bit deeper to understand whether there is effectiveness, whether there is anything being delivered. But also the bigger picture is, should State House or the President's Office be involved in these kinds of initiative when there are other elaborate government systems that can handle such issues? I have two guests in studio, and let me introduce them. Engineer Raymond Kamugisha is the Director of Presidential Projects and Industrial Hubs. Good evening, Engineer Kamugisha. It's a pleasure having you on Spectrum.
Good evening, Anderson, viewers and listeners.
Also in studio is Dr. Peter Babyenda. He is an economist and policy engagement coordinator at COBAMS, that's at Makerere University, where he also lectures. Good evening, Doctor. It's a pleasure having you on Spectrum.
Thank you, Kenneth. Good evening, listen.
And I'm your host, Kenneth Anderson Lukwago. I do encourage you to be part of this program. Share with us your thoughts. Probably you've been one of the people who has benefited. Tell us, how have these initiatives actually changed your life? I want to begin with you, Engineer Raymond Kamugisha. There are several initiatives under the President's Office where you actually work from. And in fact, you are in one of the dockets as a Director of Projects and Industrial Hubs. Can you briefly introduce to us the several initiatives that are being undertaken under the President's Office?
Good evening, listeners and viewers online of Radio 1. It's a pleasure to be back here, Kenneth, and I'm congratulating Ugandans upon so many things they have done today and in the past days. And then also with the political season that we are in, so far it's so good. I've never seen a calm election like this. People are saying their views, and Ugandans are listening to judge. Back to the point, you've talked about, there are several presidential initiatives. Of course, you know, the president is birthed from the NRM, and one of the core principles of NRM is socio-economic transformation. So if you're to transform a society from a third world country to a first world country, there are several initiatives that you must take on. So the president has been bringing so many initiatives to Ugandans, and they have been, of course, also helping us to move now to the middle income status. Of course, there are several initiatives, of course, in the State House. Some are in, some are out. For example, like PDM, it is not entirely in State House, it is in under Ministry of Local Government, but it's an initiative of the President. And several others. Emyoga is also outside State House, but also birthed from the President. We have, of course, Youth Livelihood Program. We have had presidential industrial hubs, where I am the director. We have the skilling, of course, the skilling of the boy and girl child in Kampala. We have 4-acre model demonstrations. So there are several, there are model villages model village under poverty alleviation. We have the presidential initiative on banana. There are several initiatives the president has been putting across. The whole point is, these presidential initiatives are complementary in terms of policy, but also in terms of supporting the service delivery in the country. I will speak for presidential industrial hubs. Of course, the president came up with UPE, where they talked about UPE, and it was supposed to be fully free, totally free. But as you know, for a reason or the other, we've not been able to realize that as a country. And many children of this country cannot go to school on account of lack of necessities and several things. And you know, education is everything. It's the backbone of everything. Now, so he birthed, I was listening to him today on the campaign trail in Kitgum, and he emphasized that he started presidential industrial hubs to, of course, avoid some of these hurdles. You know, when you start some initiatives and maybe you put to mainstream government, and sometimes you find there are so many hurdles like to jump. Like in a case in point is UPE. PTA will have a say, foundation body will have a say, the other one will have a say. But, for example, residential industrial hubs, why we've been able to achieve a lot in only 4 years, it is because there are no bureaucracies. When we are out to do something, it is done there and then. So we've been able, of course, to touch, to skill so many Ugandans. In presidential industrial hubs alone, we've skilled around 21,000 youth. Under Kampala, of the boy and girl child, we boast of over 100,000.
Over 100,000.
100,000 youth.
100,000
youth that have been skilled under Kampala. So, and those are in 28 centers. The presidential skilling centers in Kampala, they are in 9 zones of the 5 zones, but there are 9 of them. Then presidential industrial hubs, there are 19 across the country. And interestingly, these initiatives, we take on people even who have never gone to school. Now imagine if you took such an initiative in Ministry of Education, they start telling you someone who has never stepped in P5, they cannot be welders. And yet in actual sense, in actual practice, those people are there and they're active, they can learn in the local language, and we can be able to work. And as we've experimented it, and it has worked. The 20,000 we are boosting of. So all those youth have been skilled for only 6 months.
All right. So this program initiative has that catchword, industrial. And going by the figures you're talking about, it seems we should be having so many industries. Where is the output? You're training these people and letting them to go. What is happening? We're not seeing the turnover, the results. What's happening?
Kenneth, I think you must be from across the border, but if you live in this country, you should have seen just your Kampala driller. Take a pass to Chigo. You'll see a common user facility whereby so many people, so many youth are exhibiting carpentry furniture made here in this country. If you go in the nice skilling centers around, for example, are you aware that Ministry of Internal Affairs, they procure all their garments from the Kampala skilling here, in Kampala here?
No, I had no idea.
Kampala skilling program. So, we had NAM here, this NAM function. All the garments that were made here, they were made by these former rejects from the ghettos here, who came here and learned how to tailor, how to weave, how to do other things. I take you of successful stories you've been, if you just click on your phone, I'm sure you have a smartphone, you'll find so many successful stories. We have, out of the 20,000 you see here, over 1,600 have created their own jobs, and also they're able to employ 1 or 2 people. So this is impact. In just 4 years, someone comes, I've been in Chana Mkaka, I was playing, pool even in the morning, or doing marijuana. Now we've taken these people. Of course, we have mindset training. We teach you in 6 months. You jog in the morning, jog in the evening. In just 3 months, you've stopped all these other habits. And we teach you how the life skills, the soft skills. You've learned the skill. It's a residential program. People live, and they have been able. We have 600 have joined UPDF engineering brigade as professionals. Someone who left with an OP7, they have learned in 6 months. They are welders, they are masons, they are carpenters, and they are able to join our national army. And they are successful people. They have left. They have joined the engineering brigade. They are paid, an extra fee as professionals, because not having gone to school does not stop you from welding a chair. It can't stop you from, being a baker, making, all these garments. These are gymnastics of Europeans, which they brought around here. So we've taken the Asian Tigers model, and we are moving straight. So we have so many successful stories. There's an amazing story of some 3 young ladies. They studied at Usoga Zonal Industrial Hub, and they moved to Seta here, and started they sell curtains. Their story is very amazing. In every month, they're able to sell curtain. They just go to houses, contract. They come to GMB here, get and tailor and sell. They're able to make net savings of over 4 million.
All right.
So, and their lives are changing. So I can tell you, and we've been having just a small gap. People in this, in this country, we have challenge of capital, because we have expensive capital. If you have to go to a bank, they want security. If you have to go here, they want A, B, C, D. Now, with the rolling on of PDM, and now President has started Presidential Industrial Hub circles and injected 8.8 billion shillings to 176 administrative units, whereby each administrative unit has a startup or some small capital. So they are able to borrow from these circles in their districts, because these former trainees are members of these circles. They are in the leadership themselves. We have trained them how to manage their own resources, of course with some small checks to make sure that this money is not put to waste, especially at the enterprise verification.
All right.
So they have been able to, do things, and I can tell you without doubt, in the next 1 to 3 years, we'll have a lot of small industries coming up. We're also in plan to put up common user facilities, whereby they'll come together, produce at a workshop, produce a common good, and then we verify it through UNBS, and then it is able to be sold, and people can even find them to work, so they can work together and enjoy economies of scale.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you so much for that elaborate explanation, and also sharing with us some statistics about the impact that has been caused. Let me go to Dr. Babyenda. Dr. Babyenda, you conducted a study about these initiatives. Can you give us some feedback? What were your findings? Is Engineer Kamugisha painting a rosy picture, or some of these things are actually on the ground?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Kenneth, and thank you so much, Director, for that elaborate presentation on these hubs. And I liked it when he started by saying there are so many initiatives, and he zeroed to industrial hubs. And I also want to start from where you have said that our study which we did, we didn't do all of them, but we just selected a few. the Youth Livelihood Program, the Uganda Women Entrepreneurship Program, the Presidential Initiative on Skilling. And the results were positive for the skilling. So I want to congratulate you, as you have said.
Thank you.
The skilling program was positive because there was evidence of these younger people who have been trained and they are able to do things on themselves. And he went ahead to say the challenge, which was capital. Especially those who were after training, would graduate and then they are given equipment. And he talked about, I think what we didn't pick at that time was the issue of the mindset and mentoring you have said. Now I see, because we sought some of, given the way how we behave in this country, and some use, even after being given some of those equipment, some of them sell them. But here it was rare, and I see. So you can see the role of mentorship, training. Another thing we found, which we are told that was they want even to extend this training. I don't know, he will tell us whether they have started even to the graduates, so that the graduates who are still looking for a job, they can come to these presidential skilling centers and then get knowledge.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that they can increase on their employability and also teach them manners. You know, we have a very big issue of manners, integrity in this country. So we really need all of us, the elderly, the youth, to be skilled in that issue of integrity. Because we have heard stories, someone sets up an enterprise, gives it to a younger person to manage, and the younger person runs it down. So that is another training. And these people, because they were being first prepared, and that's where the difference is with the Youth Livelihood Program, where where the youth just make, first of all, they tell them there is money. So it is not demand-driven, it is supply. There is money for the youth. How do you take this money? You need a group of certain people. So you form a group on purpose of getting money. You have not been prepared, you have not been. So you can see for them with skilling, they first skill these people, train them in behavior, give them equipment. So there have been challenges of the centers. He's talking about that. I've seen the Kigo. So if these youth are supported with the centers, also, I don't know, Bwana Director, how you will handle this. The issue of space, especially here in Kampala. We found some of the centers to be overcrowded. So some of them miss out on the skill, given that this one is hands-on. But this skilling program, if supported very well and instituted, we can go far. As he has said, the Asians were able to do that. But on others, as you said, and he also went strictly for this one, which is under their docket, because others are like, for example, Youth Livelihood Program are under the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development. But someone there could say maybe the support, when it comes to support, maybe also for them they are able to quickly access the financing.
Because they are in State House.
But that is not the case.
Let him conclude.
But you will say that. But really, for sure, this is from the findings here, you can see that it was very positive for those skilling programs. And I want to congratulate him on that.
Thank you so much.
But as another problem that which might come, which we saw, is on the market. Now, as these younger people join the market, join the production, who is going to buy their products, who is going to link them to the market, and then standards. I'm happy that you have mentioned the issue of standards. I think UNBS needs to come in and set standards so that these people produce what can be competitive. And that is how the Asians he mentioned were able to transform the economies. Once people can produce, because money comes from an activity. You must sell something. Is that knowledge? Like for us who are at the university, we sell knowledge. So if you don't have that, you can sell what you have made and all of that. Maybe you are a farmer or you out and then make money.
I think for market, I want to thank this government for the enabling policies that have allowed us, even the environment, to have big numbers in our population. I want to tell you the market we have here can consume even what we produce. We just need to get organized.
Engineer Kamugisha, the first market actually is supposed to be government. There was a time when the president was making directives and saying all ministries should buy furniture from prison, from local manufacturers here. But
exactly.
Even in the State House, the furniture is still coming from outside.
No.
So we see this furniture.
No. I can tell you without...
And also we have heard from these people you're talking about, the ones who are in Kigo, we have others here, Kubiri, in Makerere. They're still complaining they do not have market.
Yeah,
they have produced.
I want to tell you, of course, you see, we are slowly, it's a mindset issue.
Maybe I should qualify this point because in our economy, government is the biggest spender.
Yes.
So if you're buying furniture for ministries and you are importing from abroad, and yet you have invested taxpayers' money here to sort of generate growth and productivity, people are producing, but they do not have a market. Please.
I think, of course, it's just basically a mindset issue. Someone was writing a meme on WhatsApp and said that they are waiting for the next parliament when the
bigger one being constructed.
No, this parliament that is being elected, the one that have finished nomination today. Right. They normally give them money for cars. Yeah. So they are waiting whether they will go to Chira to buy Chira Motors to buy, or they are going to buy second-hand Japanese cars. Yeah. So it's a whole mindset issue. Yeah. People sit in boardrooms speaking English, but they are not practical at all. For example, charity begins at home. For me, in my office, at least the furniture I use is from I got my waiting lounge bench from Kasese, Zoro Industrial Hub. I paid only 300,000 for it. Then my table is from Lango, Zona Industrial Hub. We have very good carpenters in industrial. Yes, no, in different industrial hubs. So I instructor Chiza and Lamek, they were able to make me the table and chair. So it is a whole mindset issue. Recently, we've been training circle leaders with the district leaders. You'll find that in Uganda we have a Myoga program. This Myoga program, what we teach is basically, these are the Myogas. They are the welders, they are the carpenters, they are the bakers, saloon people. But you will find that a Myoga cannot now get funding to facilitate these very people trained by the same government. People want a certain other fund to come, just the whole mindset issue. Now, I was telling these local leaders, and they are the same people who cry to the president, that you know what, you've trained these people, now you've not given them startup, as if a Myoga is operated in heaven, not by themselves. They are the coordinators. All right. And I'm just coming.
Yeah, I wanted to allow Dr. Babienda to conclude, because he was
on the whole mindset issue. Now, you will find that these people, if we are serious, if we get serious, and everyone, this calls for everyone, there are repairs being made at the sub-county level, in local government here. There are repairs that are needed at the district, and these people have been trained in the district. And we have 10 district executives. They include RDC, DISO, Chairman LC5, they include the chairperson for youth, Women Council, they include the CAO, who is the accounting officer, the district commercial officer, agriculture officer. All those 10 big shots at the district, the who is who, they are the people who select these beneficiaries. Actually, they transport them even to industrial hubs because we take the very vulnerable. Now, when they take them back, some cannot even give them a small tender. So we've organized them into circles and told them that they need to give them like those of BCP. They should start doing those culverts and these local, they are absorbed. Government has some money. So it is a responsibility of our district leaders and those in mainstream government to also to walk the talk, but you cannot do one thing in isolation. So it's a whole mindset issue, and some for for petty corruption.
All right.
They want to give a tender to somebody yet these very children of ours can do these things, and then we're able to move our country, and then money stays within.
All right. Spectrum on Radio 1 FM 90. We are looking at the effectiveness of presidential initiatives undertaken under State House. In studio, I have the Director of the Presidential Projects and Industrial Hubs, Engineer Raymond Kamugisha, and Dr. Peter Babyenda, economist who comes from Makerere University, where he's a engagement coordinator at COBAMS. He did a research on these particular initiatives. When we return, we'll hear more from him, especially on the side of the challenges, so that the director can be able to appreciate actually what needs to be addressed to make these initiatives better. We value your feedback. Please do share with us via WhatsApp line 0703 090 090. Spectrum continues after this. Thank you so much for staying with us on Spectrum Live on Radio 1 FM 90. Our topic of discussion today, we are looking at the effectiveness of presidential initiatives. President Yoweri Museveni, through his office, has undertaken several initiatives, including projects and industrial hubs. The main goal is to deal with the problem of unemployment, but also promote economic social transformation. It is anticipated from the submission made by Engineer Raymond Kamugisha here, who is a Director of Presidential Projects and Industrial Hubs, that in the next 3 years there's going to be a great transformation, and that they are following the model of the Asian Tigers, where the emphasis was on cottage industries at a family level. The other guest in studio is Dr. Peter Babyenda, Economist and Policy Engagement Coordinator at COBAMS, Makerere University, where he's also a lecturer. He did a research on these initiatives to try and understand what are the issues that are hampering or probably stopping the progress that is envisaged. And let's begin from there. You did point out, Dr. Babyenda, that there is indeed progress. These hubs are in different parts of this country, as explained by Engineer Raymond Kamugisha. But what are the challenges? What are some of the issues you would recommend that need to be addressed so that we can see the transformation that is anticipated in 3 years?
Yeah, just as I said, and I will strict myself to his docket. What we found there, one I've told you already, is of, especially here in Kampala, what we would call in Lugando, Mwijuzo. Having many people being trained. Then another thing was on the quality of the instructors. I don't know how Engineer Kamugisha will handle this. You know now, things are moving, even when you go into the design and all of that. So if you go, for example, into bakery, people are using now sophisticated. You have seen the supermarkets, what they use to make bread and all that. So in some centers, these equipments were missing. I think we need to ensure that our centers are well equipped with these new technologies, and also instructors, the quality of instructors. Then there, I don't know what you are going to do, given that you are not, maybe you'll tell us, you don't issue certificates, because we would recommend certified certificates, so that when you have trained this welder, comes out with a certificate that you can present, for example, to weld in ECOP. If you don't have the internationally recognized certification, you will not be allowed to do that. Another issue was the funding. He has talked about the issue of financing. Capital. And I showed those ones who yield good results, the examples he was giving and all that. These were poor supported. After graduation, they are given the startup capital by the president to start. But that one may not be sustainable. So we need to see ways. Now he's talking of the circles. I think that one can work if we manage it very well. So that when these people come up, we are also the same, we have an incubation center and all that. We're also facing the issues of financing. Who can finance this idea? Ideally, it's supposed to be the development bank to finance, because you cannot finance an idea using a commercial bank, where you are borrowing today and tomorrow you start. You need a grace period to try. And by the way, not all ideas are successful. So some ideas die and others proceed. Then we also found out that some of these programs, as you rightly said, had no linkage, because here the main person we are looking at is the youth. we have our youth who have come up, others from the universities, others have dropped out due to some reasons and all that, and want to make them productive. So we need to see how we can link up, say, this skilling program with other youth initiatives. There is a problem of doing so many things in silos. You find Ministry of Gender is doing this, Ministry of Education,
President's
you have
Office,
the DIT, the Directorate of Industrial Training, and then you have his directorate. So if we think that if they are doing together, they would get a better impact. Because what happens when you're doing in silos, competition comes in. Yeah, they should do say me, it is me who is doing most. But if we can bring them together, then we shall have these youths helped. Other issues were operational support, but also issues of monitoring. I don't know whether, Engineer Kamugisha, you are doing, you monitor to see these graduates, where are they? Now, we have an issue. Of course, it has been reducing. It started from 51%, then it went, now it is around 42% of our youth aged between 18 to 30. You know, this is very productive age. At this age, the youth are very energetic, they can jump. Now, 42% of this, which is around over 4 million, I will check my statistics, are not, I think 6 million, are not in employment. They are not in employment, and they are not in education or training. I think, Engineer Kamugisha, these are people we need to target for this training. We shall fight this petty safety we are seeing in town here. You are driving, they grab your phone and all that. We need to take all these youth into the training. And I like what he said, they have mentoring, they have corrective measures. I think I would recommend that we round up these youth, take them to these training centers, so that the good thing I've said, you don't look at the level of education. So if we can take these people and reskill them, because most of them are here in Kampala. And the unfortunate thing is that majority of them are women. Now, because of that, these bring another problem of which is around 40% of the pregnancies in this country are unplanned, and most of them are coming up as a result of people being idle. So if the skilling can go an extra mile and get these people, then finally the issue of institutionalization. I think we need to see how we institutionalize this. And it is scaled up, and the relevant institution handles it. Because, for example, if this was under the Ministry of Education, as we are saying, these people would be having certificates which they can present and all that. But above all, as I said, the skilling has had an impact. But given the population of the youth is a lot, you have seen the statistics he has given us, Engineer Kamugisha has given us, 21,000. But the youth are many. I've told you the ones who are not in these 40,000, around 6 million. So you find that even when you are doing, the impact may not be felt, but actually the impact is there. So the issues of financing, the issues of satisfaction standards, and the training equipment, facilitators, and also ensuring that the selection criteria. Because some people are saying when engineer says, I want 20 people from Oseka Muli, the mobilizer there just looks at his who are my mobilizers and brings those ones to engineer. But then you leave out others, as you said. So if we can do this well, and then the engineer given more money, I think this one can yield returns as we are going into the tenfold growth. Because this tenfold growth we are talking about, for us to drive it, we need production. We need people to be productive. Once people are productive, first, then we shall be assured that as a country, our output will increase, we shall have more jobs, and then we shall move.
All right. Engineer Kamugisha, would you like to respond to some of the issues that have been put across before I bring in the view of the listener?
Thank you so much. First of all, I want to thank really Doctor for the fair comment, really. These are the kind words, really. You've made your research and spot on. that skilling is one of those initiatives that have been done well. So I congratulate, of course, the vision bearer, who is the president, and the funder, who is the State House controller, and the whole team.
The funder is the taxpayer, the Ugandan taxpayer. Let's be fair to the taxpayer.
You see, the accounting officer, sometimes they need to, we need to, it is beyond that. We have these initiatives where even billions have been sunk, but people disappear with the money. So we need now to congratulate those people, those Ugandans, who are in charge of a resource and it is put to right use.
The manager of the resource.
Yes.
Okay.
Now
there we agree.
Yes.
But the funder is the taxpayer.
Now
in the Republic of Uganda.
Now, of course, you've talked about crowding. Crowding, people everywhere, people are yearning for these programs. We run adverts because we are transparent. Now, when we run adverts, like for example here in Kampala Skilling, people line up for days to compete, and it's first come, first serve. So people, we cannot, of course, take over all the numbers, because when people know that it is free of charge, and people who cannot afford, and I can be trained, and I get a skill, and I get a startup, and my life changes, really it is worth taking. So I'm not surprised that people come in large numbers. Also in the industry hubs, in all those skilling centers, the applications we get are so many that go to the district committees. We have a 10-member district committee selection team, which includes the RDC, the DISO, the chairman youth, chairman women council, people with disabilities, the CAO, the commercial officer, the district agriculture officer, because we have those 4-acre model, and then we have also we also have all these people there. So now the crowding, it is of course we are appealing to everyone, members of parliament and everyone, that we can get resources, and then we extend this program so that it can be able to absorb very many Ugandans. So crowd, for me, it's a positive.
Oh, yeah?
It's not a white elephant. There's demand. So it's not a white elephant like a term I found in government. People put up something and then So this is a positive one. We are keeping on absorbing and then also increasing on the number of courses. So it is work in progress, really.
All right.
So now, then also you talked about certificates. Certificates, of course, it is not true that we don't certify our people. We used to work with the DIT. Now we are working with UVTAB. Government joined DIT and UBTAB to create UVTAB, Uganda Vocational Technical Assessment Board, now which assesses these learners, and they get an equivalent in 6 months to Senior 4. Yes.
Wow.
Because, and it was debatable. When we met with them, we presented our case, and they challenged us. How do you give someone who has never stepped in school? They have come here, learned for 6 months, and then they have an equivalent of someone who has been in. You got 3 in nursery. Your children, Kenneth, they have gone to nursery. They graduate. Then now they got primary 7 years. Those are 10, and O level 14 whooping years. So now we told them, these learners who have gone to our educational format, what can they do? What's the output? The answers were few. Now, when we go to our Juakari, these people have come from our communities. They're able to show something. Someone in 6 months can produce an item, and it's up there for sale. I even gave them to go and refer to UPDF. 600 of them. They went. They learned how to do things. They are masons. They are welders in engineering brigade, and they were not able to challenge it.
Right.
So the certification holds there. So we certify those people. Now, also, people don't need to forge papers. Like we have been people getting nominated for election. You can come in the hubs and skilling. You learn. You get certificate level 2 and it's equivalent to S6. Yep. You go and nominate and be a leader in your country.
Wow.
Yes, so you don't no longer have to go to Nasa Road to pick papers there. So spend your 6 months profitably, and then you are put to you can be a serious Ugandan here.
All right.
Now, financing, it's a challenge. We are appealing to everybody. So if you're a leader out there, appeal to your leaders to add money to the president or to these initiatives so that we can be able to expand them to a district level. Now, then also you talked about, of course, there's a challenge of monitoring. Yes, of course, this is it is limited to resources, but we are trying our best. We have a tracker. I can know who is doing what and where. We have a tracker, yes. So, and with the little resources that we have. Also, there's a challenge of university graduates. Also, they are there because we've been targeting the very, very poor, those who are disadvantaged. But we found out that our graduates, also they are equally there.
Yep.
More often our children, you meet them, they tell you, someone says, I need a job. Now when you tell them what can you do, they tell you, I have a paper. It's not based on what they can do, but they have a what? Just a mere paper.
All right.
Now, we need to move away from that. So we can retool, given resources, we can retool these graduates, we can bring these companies of the most, we have statistics here, of the things that we produce, most that we import from abroad. These companies can come in this country, they are given whatever investment opportunities, and they need labor. We can retool our graduates. You can have done social sciences, and then you retool to another thing. For example, I have an instructor in Mubende. He studied, he is a graduate of arts, but he learned welding. Now he's one of the best welders, and he's an innovator. He's been able to innovate to do these products that we need for irrigation. And so he was an artsman, but now he has now turned into what? So these things, they need just mindset and training, that's all.
All right.
As I conclude, you've talked about the needs, that there are 42 million Ugandans somewhere between 18 and 33 years.
No, 42%.
42%, yes, between 18 years
And 30.
and 30. This is very serious. National Planning Authority had that statistic the other time. So there's a big number that need these services.
Yeah.
So the little, this has been a demo, what the president has shown us. So I'm calling upon every Ugandan, whoever you are, even you, Kenneth, here, if you can go, there's a good tailor you go to, pick somebody's child, or whoever your maid is, or whatever, take them, and they are skilled, they can have life and be okay. Churches need to start now skilling people. We need to have people, investors, they need to start investing in what? In skilling. Skilling is not something of the past. We need to change our mind that we no longer want, the white collar jobs are very few. We need now to have skilled people so that we can solve our irrigation challenges, this drought that we have, and then we're able to be innovative and move very well as a country.
All right, we have comments coming in from the listeners, and I'll begin with this one. Good evening, Bwana Anderson. The presidential initiatives have really transformed and supported our young people with livelihood skills. The presidential industrial hub at Lukonje in Mbale district has really benefited our young people from Bududa district. Those from Bududa district who got the opportunity to be admitted to the hub have got skills from that industrial hub, which they have begun using to earn a living. Thank you, President Yoweri Museveni, for the great initiative. That is Kibet Patrick Nabtanyi, who is listening in from Bududa district. Kenneth, the gentleman in studio talks of mindset. Whose mindset? The government's mindset? Why should government give money to MPs for buying cars instead of giving them cars right from Chira? Then we have another comment here from John, who says, John Baptist listening in from Buya, says, I'm doing diploma in electrical engineering. Government has really forgotten us, trying with higher education after completing the course. Somebody wants skilling in electrical engineering. Then we have another problem. The problem Ugandans have is overcharging what they make. The other factor is these items are normally not to international standard. That's a comment that comes in from Stephen in Mukono. Another comment, in this country, people like accolades. That's a comment from Moffat. In this country, people like accolades and popularity without any tangible results. These presidential initiatives are simply to absorb relatives into well-paid job, employment bracket, track all these heading the initiatives, whether presidential, banana initiatives, etc. Then we have another comment here from Susan, who says, one of the biggest problems with this initiative is politicization. You either enter in as an NRM member or get out when you've been brainwashed. That is why at time of graduation, most of the candidates are putting on yellow with a picture of President Yoweri Museveni. Well, that's the feedback we are getting in from the listeners. And let me begin with you, Dr. Babyenda, if you have any closing remarks to make, and then we'll go to Engineer Byamugisha to respond to some of these issues and also make his closing remarks.
Yeah, I think since we are looking at the youth, the key thing is to understand the youth. The youth in this country are not the same, so the youth are not homogeneous. They are heterogeneous. And that's why you are seeing some positivity in this program. It is because the way they have arranged those who need to go to school, those who went to school, and all of that. So even as we are coming up with these initiatives, we need to be mindful that the youth are heterogeneous. Some youth who may be unemployed went to King's College Budo. So you cannot bring the same initiative for those who went to King's College Budo as those who went in our village schools.
There's one who wrote about electric engineering.
Yes, so we need really to categorize them. But I agree once we institutionalize the skilling, skilling will move us forward and be able to achieve the tenfold growth you're talking about.
Engineer Kangisha, if you can respond to some of the issues that have come across.
Yeah, I would like to thank, of course, Kibet for the kind words from Bududa. I can tell you, Kenneth, without doubt, that many lives are being touched. However, we still have a long way to move. The need is very big. So someone talked about recruitment, that you need to be an NRM. That is totally wrong. I can tell you, the district committees, for example, it is composed of elected leaders, the district committee. The chairman, LC5 Mitiana, the mayor, Mitiana, go to Mayor Bakaluba Mukasa, who is a NUP member, the mayor Jinja. All these are members of opposition, but they are on the selection committee. This is about empowerment. I think Ugandans, we need to learn to move away from politics when it comes to really service delivery things. So it is not true. So people are, you can be recruited. Anyone is free to come to these skilling centers, and then you're able to move. Then someone who needs to do electrical, of course, it's been introduced. We have been having it in Kampala skilling centers, but it's also being rolled starting January next year. The president also directed that we include electrical, plumbing, we do weaving and knitting, as well as automobile mechanics to make 11 courses on top of the welding, carpentry, tailoring, shoe or leather practices, masonry, and these courses that we've been, hairdressing, that we've been teaching. So now I think people can always also be able to join. In conclusion, I'm calling upon Ugandans that, of course, the president has done so well. He has sampled us in these initiatives. He has been able to do, of course, skilling. There are other many initiatives. We have the PBID. We have also the model villages, whereby we have the 4-acre model. Industry hubs are not only actually about skilling. We have value addition. So we want to use our products. For example, in Mubende, we have put up silos. Masindi, we put up silos there where we store maize, and then we are teaching farmers the post-harvest handling, so that we can be able to get our maize, add value to it, make products like those who are making animal feed. We can make Gorillas. We are going to be making items like Pringles from Irish in Mbale and Sebei, we can in Chigezi. So already we are doing so many items also in Kwen. Now we are going to do stone cutting in Karamoja to make marble and what have you, and all these products. So I want people to give credit. His Excellency has been able to put up this, and it's moving well. So given more, I think, mandate, we'll be able to expand with the resources that we can be able to move our country forward. I thank you.
All right, we have to bring this discussion to an end, and we appreciate the comments that have come in from the listeners as we continue to discuss. Just one particular message that I want you to give out to Engineer Raymond. How do there could be people out there who have been listening to us, they do not know how to be part of these initiatives. If a youth is somewhere, wants to be part of this initiative, where do they go?
You have to go, if you are in, of course we normally do announcements in Kampala. The announcements that are made on radio through the zones. But now, also in industrial hubs, you can go to either the chairperson for youth for your district.
Regardless of their political affiliation?
Yes, you can go. The chairperson of the National Youth Council can be even opposition. So they are the people mandated of this program. Then we have chairperson for Women Council. If you're a woman, because we're a gender sensitive program, we do actually 50-50. You can go also to the chairperson for people with disabilities. You can go to your cow. You can go to the RDC, to the DISO. You can go to the district commercial officer. You can go to the district agriculture officer, because we have a 4-acre model also in industrial hubs. So any of those, you can be able to go, and then there are 10 members. You can be able to go there, and then you are elected LC5, whether opposition or whatever political affiliation they come from. Then you are able to join, and it is a free program. You don't have to pay anything. For 6 months, beddings are there. If you want medication is free. Materials, teaching materials are there. Instruction, you will not be required to pay anything. So you can come and be skilled, become a better Ugandan, earn your money, and your mindset will be spot on. All right.
With that, we come to the end of Spectrum. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for coming through to have a discussion on this issue. And thank you very much, dear listeners, for tuning in and contributing to this discussion. Tomorrow, same time, another topic will be on air as we review the major events of the week during Spectrum Extra, 2 hours of analysis. Do make a date with me. Up next, we have the news in English with Miss Josephine Dagano. Thereafter, we'll have the Soul Train with BB Jr.